All right, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Chocolate Jesus with Chocolate Jesus Sports here with Real Life Sports Nation. Big Homie on the phone. What's going on with it?
What's going on with the Chocolate Jesus TV? You know, it's your boy Big Homie PAC. I'm tapping in live from the nation, and I'm ready to have a conversation. Let's go.
Hey man, salute to the nation one time, man. You already know. We want to welcome the nation in. And just in case you guys is spiritual or religious, man, y'all can call me Chocolate Jesus. But anyway, man, we here to talk about this Detroit Lions and this Kansas City Chiefs game yesterday. Wow, I cannot believe the Lions spoiled the Chiefs ring ceremony, bro. They came in, got them by 1 point. It was 14-7 at halftime. Chiefs was up, and then the Lions came back, scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, and the Chiefs couldn't get no tutties. Didn't see the end zone in the second half, brother. 2 field goals. They ended up with 20. The Chiefs ended up with 20. The Lions ended up with 21. But we got your game leaders real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, brother, and just see how you was feeling about that. But we got Jared Goff, 22 of 35, 253 yards, 1 tutty. That's not too good, not too bad. NFL actually 250 is a good game. 220 and all that, that's not really a good game. That's decent. But 250 is a good game. 250 and up, I say that's a good game. Patrick Mahomes, 21 of 39, 226, 228, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Wow. So the quarterback battle was won by Jared Goff. Completed more passes on less attempts than Patrick Mahomes. Rushing yards, David Montgomery, 21 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty good for the Lions. I know Jahmyr Gibbs had some yards too, so they had a pretty good day on the ground. Rushing for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 6 carries for 45. How does Patrick Mahomes lead the Chiefs in rushing? Horrible, horrible, horrible thing. I don't even want to talk about the coaching. That's crazy. Unless you got Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields or just somebody with just extreme athletic ability, or you running a read option with Anthony Richardson, I don't want to see that. I do not want to see Patrick Mahomes, the passing god, leading your team in rushing. But anyway, we're going to get to that later. Receiving, Marquise Valdez-Scantling led the Chiefs with 2 receptions for 48 yards. Maybe they don't count the tight end in this, and that's why they have him up there leading. But I believe the Blake Bell guy had more yards than 40, I believe. Josh Reynolds, 4 receptions, 80 yards. Decent day, 4 catches. I'll take it, 20 a pop. I'll take it. So, man, that's just the stats, the facts, man. We had to get that out the way for the people. But we're going to get to the questions, man. See how Big Homie from Real Life Sports Nation tapping in with the nation. We seeing what they talking about and what they think about this, man. So, do you just think that it's Detroit's offense obviously better, or KC's offense obviously worse?
I think it might be a little bit of both, but I think it's more towards Detroit's offense is just better right now. They're a well-oiled machine. They know what system they want to run. They've got projected one of the best offensive lines. I mean, yeah, they swapped out the running back rotation, but I like what they did. We got Gibbs, the rookie out of Alabama, number 12 overall pick. If you realize they're kind of using him as like a weapon. Montgomery's definitely the workhorse. Like you said, between the two of them, that was 28 rushes, 116 yards, with 4.1 yards per carry. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, really, the Lions did what they were supposed to do to win this game. They controlled time of possession by 6 minutes. And you gotta run the ball and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is what you have to do versus this team. You got to keep the score low like they did. But another thing I'd say is you have to get more than a 1 point lead on this team. But this team just couldn't do it. Like, I would never be able to go to bed with a 1 point lead on the Chiefs. But this team was able to do it, man. Like I said, it might be the Chiefs just aren't the same, but it might be the Lions are that good. They just controlled it, like you said. So, real quick, just, another tangent of the same question. What's your opinion on Kansas City's offense? Is something going on, or is it just rust at the beginning of the season? Is it,
I mean, me personally, I feel like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will get it together. I think it's a little rust,
Mm-hmm.
Nagy's back after Eric Bieniemy's out.
Mm.
Nagy was the offensive coordinator before he left to go to the Bears. But it's a different group of guys, but for the most part, it's the same system. I think they just have a lot of new guys. They're still trying to figure out how they want to use their running backs. Like, I feel like they were still in the game when they was kind of trying to run the offense through Pacheco and not necessarily running. They was giving it or running. They was hitting with little screen passes,
Mm-hmm.
just mixing it up. But I think they'll figure it out, man. I mean, 11 receivers caught a pass yesterday. That's what the Chiefs do. They mix it up. You never know who's gonna get it. I just think they're a little rusty.
Yeah, but once again, 11 guys caught a pass for 220 yards.
And you can't forget, which is big that a lot of people are looking over. They got 2 new offensive tackles, brother.
Hey, I was going to get to that later on, but those new bookend tackles from KC look like they're worth it. The left tackle was a little more risky than Jawan Taylor, but the left tackle is that type of a position. But that guy, he used to protect Tom Brady, and he actually did pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He actually did pretty good. He got called for, I believe, a holding once or twice during the game, but
Yeah, I call them the Florida boys, they went and got him out of Tampa and out of Jacksonville.
exactly. Yeah, Jawan Taylor and the other guy, I forget.
I forget his name, but I know he came from Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, that was Jawan Taylor. The other guy is the Tampa guy.
My bad.
No, I forget that guy's name, though. The other guy is the Tampa guy. He was protecting Tom Brady. But, man, they look like they were worth it. I'm not going to lie. That's another reason I have a problem with this Kansas City offense is because Patrick Mahomes had some time. Like, he didn't have to scramble as much as he did. It was just a lot of those play calls and those routes were booty. And then, like I said, I'm not going to say it's all Chiefs offense, all bad, but maybe Detroit just knew what you guys were doing. And that's another, like I said, that's another thing, man.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
In the first quarter, the Lions' first play, they ran a 7-yard run up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I knew they was going to win the game right there.
Mm.
First play of the game, they came out and set the pace on a 7-yard game. They knew they was going to get what they wanted on the ground, and they controlled the game through the ground. I mean, 111 yards, or 118 yards, that's not spectacular, but it's the way they use the run, the way they control the clock, and I just feel like Travis Kelce or not, man, Detroit did what they were supposed to do, went out there and won that game, and I just gotta give my hats off to Dan Campbell. I mean, just a year ago, this man was in the hot seat.
Yeah, man, Campbell for sure. He going crazy with that team, man. He got them all playing some good ball. It's a tough team. That's what you need in Detroit, man. And they'll respect that. See, that's the difference. And we're not going to get on this show because we're going to talk about a lot of NFL teams. But that is the difference with the Chicago Bears and what they need as opposed to just keep on going into the coaching pool and just keep on going and, just searching for old glory. They need somebody who is going to rough and tough and just give them an identity of meanness. Like a Mike Tomlin, if he ever leaves, that's what the Bears need, because even if you're losing, that team, that city, like a Chicago city, they will support you even if you're losing as long as you're a nitty-gritty tough guy, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're losing, as long as you're a hard ass, we fucking with you. Like, so that's another thing that I thought Cam Newton didn't need to go to the Bears. Before he went to the Patriots, when, there was rumors of him going to the Bears, I thought that would be a bad look because Cam Newton is somebody who, he will dance on a table when they're winning, but when they're losing, he hides under the table. And Chicago doesn't like that. If you gonna dance on the table when we losing, nigga, stand on the table too. Fuck it. Nigga, we big and bad. We gotta be rough and tough, nigga. We gonna win next week, say we won't, nigga. Like that type of shit. So, excuse my language, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead. What was your point?
Really, my point just is that you made my point for me, really.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just, and then, man, while we on coaching, let me go ahead and let loose this hot take, bro. I got the hottest take probably. It's probably not super hot because it's not a definite thing and it's not a measurable type of stat. But I believe Andy Reid is going to lose a handful of games from bad coaching. That he is missing Eric Bieniemy. He is backseating preparation and planning and inventive stuff and creativeness, backseating that to the talent because we're a winning team. We just came off a Super Bowl. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got DETvsKC. We got Chris Jones. We got a lot of guys. We don't have too many stars, but we've got a lot of stars, We don't have a lot of superstars. Let me say that. We do have more than the average amount of superstars, but we have a decent amount of stars as well. But Andy Reid is going to screw the pooch on a couple games because I don't see him calling good plays. I don't know whether that was Eric Bieniemy's offense for the past couple years that got them over the top, or because Andy Reid was calling those plays back when what's my guy's name? Alex Smith was the quarterback. Andy Reid was calling the plays the first year they had Patrick Mahomes, just where he looked pretty good. But then I want to say like his second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth year, they've had Eric Bieniemy for about 4 or 5 years now. Well, until he just left for the Washington football player dudes. We're not going to call those guys the Commanders ever on this channel, bro. We call them the Washington, D.C. football people. The Washington, D.C. footballers. The Washington, D.C. football team, whatever. We're not calling them the Commanders over here, bro. We're not doing that. But yeah, man, like I said, Andy Reid, he's going to lose a couple games just off of his backseating planning to talent. He's missing Eric Bieniemy. I don't think he's losing it, but he's like, he doesn't have that feel anymore for this new game. The way that defenses have evolved, he doesn't have that feel anymore, I don't believe. He's an X's and O's guys, but now it's more so like, it's new variables in there. It's not just X's and O's, It's a lot of new variables in the game. We got safeties who, are big enough to hit like linebackers. We got linebackers who are small enough to be safeties. We got corners who are getting just interceptions like receivers. We got quarterbacks that are running this thing like running backs. We got running backs who don't run the ball. They just catch the ball. We got receivers who you don't have tall possession Mike Williams type of guys anymore, or Mike Evans type of guys, should I say, not Mike Williams, sorry. You don't have Mike Evans type of guys anymore. You have the slottier Odell, Brandon Cooks, maybe a CD, but then again, like I said, CD's only about 6'2", He's not one of the taller guys. So it's a weird era right now. Not weird, but it's a different era. Let me say that. And I don't think Andy Reid is still in it. So now one more thing, man. Last one. I knew you was gonna rebuttal. What?
Please like, share, subscribe.
Okay, we listening to the nation. Let's go.
First of all, like I said, they still incorporating them Florida boys. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get comfortable with each other with the new tackles. You can't forget that third biggest offensive threat was out. And DETvsKC, like, come on, bro, that matters. I mean, we're not gonna take that away from Detroit, but that matters in the scheme of things for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you also gotta remember, bro, they won 7 consecutive division titles. So, you know, it's gonna be easy for Andy Reid to get guys to buy in and for him to fix things because he has a record of showing, hey, if you listen to me and we get things on track, we'll make a push and we'll always be a contender for a title. Now, Eric Bieniemy being gone hurts, but I just feel like Andy Reid succeeded before Eric Bieniemy, brother. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I wasn't putting that in as the ultimatum, as the clarifier. I was just throwing that in, letting people know that this year will look a little different because that is a verified change.
I think it will look a little bit different because the play caller's different, but for the most part, it's gonna be the same because it's the same system.
Yeah, but you had a guy who was a architect of the system and a guy who's an engineer of the system. So what I mean by that is, yes, Andy Reid brought over his play style to the Chiefs and it's his shit, it's his system like we said. But when you got a guy who come in there like a mad scientist working in your lab, they're going to rearrange the equipment. And usually, well, we're not going to say what happens with that, the effect of it, whether it looks good or if it goes bad. But what we've seen is it worked better or more recent, you know? So now that the equipment is going back to the old style, like if we went into Walmart, you know, and then 2 years from now they had a different system, or for instance, yeah, this is on top of my brain. Walmart used to have, you know, all the lines going and hella cashiers, and it seemed like you go into Walmart, you get your shit, you be in line for 5 or 10 minutes, and you out. Now, the new formula, they don't have anybody at the registers. There's maybe 1 or 2 people at the registers, but it's the automated shits. And it seems like every time you go to Walmart, you're in line for about 30 to 40 minutes. That's why people hate going to Walmart, and all this grocery ordering is such a wave right now. Is because the lines just seem ridiculous now, right? So if they go back to the old formula, it's going to be different. Because the equipment changed around, the functionality is different. So I'm not saying whether it's going to be better or worse, but I'm just saying that is a key, that it's different. So based on what I saw last night, I'm not looking the looks of it. Like you said, I should give him the benefit of the doubt of getting things together. But what I'll say about this Kansas City Chiefs defense is these guys are not good enough to keep a lead safe. You have to keep scoring if you got Patrick Mahomes. We're just going to have to take you into deep water. We got to score 40. If we do 20 points, it's not safe with this defense. It's never been safe 20 points with the Chiefs. Never. I don't care what defense they ever had. Tyrann Mathieu, D Ford, all the guys. It's never been safe with 20 points for the Chiefs. And my other thing, let me address these 2 points because you're right. I'm gonna give Andy Reid the benefit of the doubt. But 2 things for sure that are actually gonna end up proving bad for the Chiefs is one is gonna be bad. The other one, this one is gonna be actually pretty good because it's like you said. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna, fold my hand and tell you, yes, they were missing Travis Kelce, and tight ends actually do matter. That's their number one, option, their number one pass catcher. And the thing about it is, a tight end definitely makes a difference. A lot of people want to say that it's a position that doesn't make a difference. What it does is, it's not gonna make a difference. Unless you're Travis Kelce, it's not gonna make a difference in the stat sheet. But what it does is it changes the actual flow of the game through first downs. Tight ends extend drives for sure. Catches, first downs, just pulling a safety this way, just shading coverage a certain way. Maybe people would have been able to catch more balls if it was two guys watching DETvsKC instead of just one like it was yesterday, watching Blake Bell. So I understand what you're saying. I'll default to you on that. You're right. But the one that I'm not finna let you get away with is the division point. They have been running that division, but the division has gotten better. The Chargers, very young team. They were rebuilding for a very long time. Past 2 years, they've shown a little bit of fight, a little bit of life, but they're not him. They're not him yet. The Raiders. What'd you say? Oh, no. I'm just saying I'm not going to let you get away with saying that the division is trash and using that going forward. Yes, it was in the past, but I don't believe the Chiefs are going to sweep that division this year. Not at all. Because they always split one game with the Broncos, which is crazy. Oh, yeah. I mean, for them to not sweep them, the Broncos just have to win one. And the Broncos always play the Chiefs very good. You want to know why? The Broncos defense is always for real. Even when they're poop. Like the team as a unit is poop. The Broncos defense is always for real. And they play the the Chiefs particularly stout because they always have corners and safeties and D-line. We can get to you, boy. And we could pick that thing off. And we could lock up these bum receivers you got. I'm not saying that the Broncos is going to win and be all nice because I think they're actually going to be trash. But with Sean Payton and a defense that is already pretty good, no matter what, like their floor is pretty high, I like it. The Chiefs, who is you don't know who shows up today, you don't know who shows up tomorrow. They could lose to the Jaguars. They could beat the best team in the league, and then they could go and lose to the Broncos like they did last year. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that in there. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But this division, the Raiders are not – I don't think they're going to be good. I think about 5-6 games in, they're going to start tanking. They're going to trade off Devontae Adams. They're going to start tanking. That's another hot take. You can record it, clip it up, do whatever you got to do. Oh, shit. Well, I'm finna get me a good little order, too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hungry as hell. We finna finish up this talk. But I got one more question for you. One more. Oh, well, shouts out to the Chargers. Like I said, the Chargers always play the Chiefs tough. And I believe this could be their year for that. For the Chiefs. They're not really going to be able to do too much with anybody else because they're a really, really shaky coached and a really shaky roster. Like when they lose one position of importance, it throws off their whole chain. Yeah, and that's the weird thing is like usually you can withstand 1 or 2 or 3 injuries. You just can't withstand gang injuries. Just, depleted. Just, how the Ravens get whooped up every year. And how like Michigan football gets whooped up every year, You just can't have that type of stuff happen. But for some reason, bro, with the Chargers, they lose one person. Like you said, they gotta be healthy the entire year. And that's impossible when you can't lose one person. Like it's not like 2 people take them out or an important position. They could lose the outside linebacker, a guy, making $38 a year, somebody we don't know, and it's just they're never the same. So I don't like that about the Chargers, but that is one thing that's for sure. But like I said, I think it's their year to just battle it out with the Chiefs. Defense is pretty stout, just like the Broncos. Basically, just they have a quarterback who can score in a shootout, and that's why I like them. But besides all the Chief discussion, man, we had a real good think piece, conversation piece today about that, man. Everybody, y'all take what you want from that, man. We hit plenty of angles, all type of different tangents. We went everywhere on that. I ain't gonna lie. Last question, bro. Are you ready? Did Detroit get better? Or, because because I'm not going to say just from that game, but the team themselves, did they get better, or does it just seem like everything around them got worse? The Packers definitely got worse. The Bears, I think they got better, but they're still just lost in the desert for 40 years and 40 nights, you know? They're just going to be inept. Even if they can win 7 or 8 games, that's a win season for them. Good job, Justin Fields, yada, 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 break a record. But that's just going to be it for them. Like, they really have no hope. The Vikings, I can see them kind of competing with the Lions, but that's what I mean. I mean, the Vikings don't scare anybody. So are the Lions just cakewalking their way through a season? Yeah, they can.
I think things around them got better, and they're on the rise at the right time. I mean, they finished the season 8-2, which was the foundation for what they're going to come into this year.
Correct.
I mean, most sites and channels like ESPN, Fox, whatnot, if you go to predictions, some people got them between 10 and 12 wins this year.
Yeah, no. I saw that for sure. I don't know whether it's the schedule or what, though. Is it the schedule or?
I mean, you got to think, man.
Ooh.
I would expect for them to at worst, I feel they'll go
Wow.
to win the division.
No, man, they got a decent schedule this year too. I don't think that's a fluke. I don't think they'll get to 12 wins, but I think 10 is a good one. Cause I mean,
Most places had them at 10 to 11 wins.
I'll say 11. They just stole one yesterday.
That was with Kansas City being a loss. So
Yep.
right there, that's a win nobody expected. And to be honest, I expect for them to maybe pull out a game or two nobody expects, bro. I mean, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator for the Lions, you know, he's designed this offense around what Jared Goff can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth. You've seen it towards the end of the season last year. I really expect for Jared Goff to show why he was a #1 pick. I mean, I'm not saying, Jared Goff's going to be a top 5 quarterback, but they don't need him to be. They need him to do what he did yesterday. Make passes when needed, control the game, basically be a game manager. You know, no disrespect, but they need him to be a game manager and not turn the ball over. They're gonna run the offense through their 2 running backs and Montgomery and Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna set everything up, do play action. I mean, I think that the world needs to get acquainted with St. Brown. That's a name that you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a bad man.
Yeah.
And they want to establish the ball and kill you with play action. And I feel like that's what they're going to do all year. I mean, last year they was 18th in yards per game with 110, and but they were tied 11th in yards per carry. I mean, as you know what I'm saying, they swapped out their running backs. Jamal Williams gone, DeAndre Swift gone. But now you got David Montgomery and Gibbs, and I like the new guys better.
Mm.
More healthy, more reliable, and
Yeah.
Montgomery's a dog, and I like the way. I mean, it's only one game, but I like the way I see they're trying to incorporate Gibbs.
Yeah, I like how they had the little tandem going. Like I said, man, he identified what was going on, my players' strengths and weaknesses, and let me use them for that and not put them on a bad, on a bad mission. Like, so now I really respected that out of Dan Campbell. Man Campbell, we're going to call him that because he's a man's man. That's big dog. But what's your outlook on Detroit's season? So, I mean, of course, if we talking about them like that, I got their schedule up right now. They got the Seahawks next week. That's a tough game. We'll see if Geno's really Geno. But, their outlook, obviously, they're going to get to the playoffs.
Oh, they're not only gonna get to the playoffs, brother. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna win this division.
Okay, so they're going to have a top 4 seed. And what I'm saying is, what do you...
NFC North champs, and I mean they've got a couple things in their favor. They've got probably the best time by
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Smack that in the middle of the season. And a lot of people was talking about their draft, but I like what I see from the tight end they took out of Iowa yesterday.
Oh yeah, Sam Laporta. I liked him. I liked him. They had a really good draft, man.
And they've got 5 primetime games this year, so I think the nation needs to get acquainted with the Lions, man. They've got 4 primetime games plus their one Thanksgiving game as usual for 5 primetime games this year. I mean, they've only had double-digit wins 2 times since 1995, and I expect for this to be the 3rd year since 1995 they have double-digit wins. And I mean, they're a long shot, but I think they're to be watched in the playoffs.
Okay, so they're gonna be a wild card and get bounced, or you think they'll beat a wild card? Because it'll probably be between Dallas or Philly, and it'll be maybe the Vikings or maybe an Atlanta team. Or maybe a Seahawks team. So you think they could beat one of those teams, or you think they get bounced?
They can beat every single one of them teams except for the Cowboys.
Okay. Okay.
I expect them to. I think they'll get out of the first round of the playoffs. I think they'll win a playoff game this year.
Right. As long as they don't have to see, I understand what you're saying. As long as they don't have to see really the Cowboys, Eagles, or Niners, they should be safe. Like in the playoff scheme, in a playoff world.
The Eagles defense has to show me.
Yeah, no. I definitely think the Lions got something for the Eagles as well. I just mean safe. Like, without a doubt, the other teams can be gotten. The Eagles is going to be a good one. I wouldn't put my money either way on that game. I want the Lions. I'm a Cowboy. But I wouldn't put my money on it either way because it's still a toss-up, kind of. They had a good game last year at the beginning of the season. They had a really good game.
I think they're gonna finish 12-5, brother.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to say 11. I'm going to say 11 just because they stole one yesterday. I like that. So now, what's your outlook for the Chiefs season? You got them winning that division. You got them bouncing early. You got them making another Super Bowl run, Super Bowl slump. What you got?
I think that they'll continue their streak. I think they'll continue their streak with division titles. And I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So then, like I said, they get there. Of course, they win their division. They're gonna have a top 4 seed. Wild cards in the AFC. You're probably gonna be looking at between. Of course, well, let's run out the whole thing real quick. I'm gonna be real quick because we're gonna end this in a second, man. I don't want to keep the people too long, but this ain't a church service. But of course, maybe the Jags or the Titans is gonna be one of those guys. So one of those two will be a wild card. You got the Buffalo Bills or the Jets, whichever one of those two is the wild card. And then it's probably, like I said, the Ravens probably win their division. I have no faith in the Browns. I got a little bit of faith in the Steelers to be decent, so maybe they're a wild card. So let's just say those are.
You don't gotta keep going. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know the exact numbers of, nation, don't hold me to it, but I believe they've won 7 straight division titles and have been to 5 straight conference championship games.
Okay, so you're saying they at least get there.
It'll be a 6. Those streaks will keep going.
Okay. So either they'll see Bills, Jets, Bengals, Ravens, somebody in the conference champ.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're gonna win the conference championship, but I'm saying
They'll be in it. Right. That's good. Okay. Yeah, man. That sounds like a wonderful episode then, man. I mean, we basically covered all the bases, man. We talked about them spoiling the Chiefs ring ceremony, man. We talked about whether KC was better or worse, Detroit better or worse, what's going on with KC's offense. I said what I had to say about Andy Reid. You said what you had to say about what's going on with their offense and them getting it together. We talked about Detroit being a lot better, man. I just don't like the defense, but it's a pretty good defense. I just don't like the names on it, but it's a good defense. We talked about tight ends and Travis Kelce.
before we go there, I'm gonna give you one name, and I'm gonna tell you why the Detroit Lions defense is gonna be consistent
Right. Yeah. I believe it. So yeah, man, I do think that's a good one, man. Detroit definitely a team to be on the lookout for. We're gonna tap in with them a couple times this year, man. So y'all just be on the lookout. Man, another good conversation, man. On the phone with Big Homie PAC from Real Life Sports Nation.
Before we go, brother, you had a hot take on Andy Reid.
Uh
I
huh.
have a hot take for you.
Okay, let me hear it. I thought I was the only hothead.
If the Chiefs do struggle, I expect Steve Spagnuolo to be fired.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm with you on that.
And I will say, he's the only defensive coordinator to win 3 Super Bowls. He's got one with the Giants, and he's got 2 with the Chiefs. But if they struggle, and that's with or without Chris Johnson, he'll be the scapegoat and he'll be gone.
With Chris Jones, you mean? I know what you're talking about. Hey, if they had Chris Johnson, boy, they would be a lot better running the ball. But yeah, man, that was good. Hey, man, I didn't think about that. Steve Spagnuolo has definitely had a free ride on the back of Eli Manning with the D line that he had with the Giants, and on the back of Patrick Mahomes with just the arm talent of Patrick Mahomes. So I'll say that, man. He's had a really good free ride, man. And he's not that good of a coach because his defenses are always weak. It's just they do what they got to do when they need to do it. So I don't know if that's an ability or if that's a character flaw. It always comes down to crunch time with you, you know?
For sure.
But yeah, we'll see what's going on, man. But like I said, we tapped in with the Real Life Sports Nation. It's your boy Chocolate Jesus, man. Chocolate Jesus TV, Chocolate Jesus Reacts. We over here, Chocolate Jesus Sports, and we out, baby.